Hey, welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast, the chapter by chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a forage craft brew on the side. I'm Jade, and I'm here with Nate and Aaron.
Yo, what's happening?
Hey guys.
Today, we're hunting for morsels in chapter 25 of Soul of Fire.
I love hunting for morsels. It's one of my favorite things to do. Love it. Hashtag love it.
Hashtag forage, hashtag nature.
Hashtag what were we doing?
That giant turtle behind you is trying to get your attention. And I feel like if you just ate some of these, you would really click with that guy.
That's our moment of truth today.
That's right. We did mushroom. No, we didn't.
That felt.
We didn't.
We're not on mushrooms. That
Did we convince
feel
you?
really real though to me.
Acting.
Dang.
We've watched one Patrick Stewart YouTube video. We are actors. Acting. That was our moment of truth. That
Yeah.
we watched the Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah.
To prep. Yep.
Well, last episode.
Yeah.
All three of us were here again. It was great.
2 in a row.
That's
Kismet,
right.
This is wonderful.
It's the next one that you won't be on, right?
No, I'm gonna be here forever. I'm never gonna miss an episode.
Yeah.
I've never missed an episode, canonically. Shh, don't think about it. I am more committed than everybody else. That's what that proves. And that's just how it is and how it will be forever.
I think your math might be a little off
I think
there.
your math is just we aren't
I
talking
think
math.
my
Why are you even
math
talking about
is-
math? I didn't talk about math.
No, I
Math
know.
is the devil. Anyways,
Wow.
Dalt got his messengers last episode to send out the word about the Winthrop Fair Employment Act. And we met everybody's favorite goth girl, Franca.
Franca.
Hey.
Franca.
Hey. That's my wife.
Wow.
That is not everyone's goth girl. That is my goth girl. I love Franca.
Why do I only
Pretty
want to
sure
do the
that's a-
Borat thing?
That's my
Grown
life.
woman. Oh God, there it is.
What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with that. That's a great cultural reference.
That's right. It's a
Yeah.
classic bit of comedy.
Classic comedy.
Yeah, it really is.
I do like Franca though.
I'm
I
so
don't know
happy
if,
about it.
I don't know if anyone knew that.
If anybody picked up on
Yeah,
that.
I don't know if anyone picked up on it. I think I've been real subtle about it.
You're subtle about a lot of things. Anyways, so without being subtle about starting this episode, Roberta was hanging out on the top of a cliff. She's
Mhm.
near the nesting cliff, actually,
Yeah.
looking down at Narif Valley when we
Oh yeah.
meet her,
Yeah.
quote unquote, meet her.
This is fan favorite Roberta in the classic Narif Valley that we're all familiar with.
Very, very familiar
Because
with.
why in chapter 25 wouldn't we be talking about our main characters?
I feel like Narif Valley has come up. We've heard Narif Valley.
It has
Yes.
for sure.
But
I might have been
this-
being facetious. I said that wrong.
Wow.
Facetious?
Nope.
I might have been.
That's what she said.
Facetious.
That's all I got. But Roberta is new. We don't know Roberta.
We will know Roberta. She is a shroomer, and she's just hanging out up here. She spots a chanterelle
What?
and goes ahead and sticks it in her sack, so we know that she's good at spotting the shrooms up here on the cliffside on the mountain where she is. She likes this small mountain, by the way, because there's like woods here that she can go into. She likes that. The trails are easier because she's a little bit older. They're not super difficult for her to transverse. So she really does enjoy this particular smaller mountain because the other ones nearby, they're pretty steep. You can get up pretty high. You can see the oceans.
Pretty far up there.
Yeah. And some people do go up there once a year, but not fucking Roberta. She's not about it. She maybe went up there once when she was a child, doesn't remember it, doesn't like heights, not going back up there again.
I mean, I know we've brought it up quite a few times and we may be beating it to death, but when we went on Ben Nevis in Scotland, famously only went halfway up. I don't fucking like heights. And I am haunted by the thought of what would have happened had I been like, no, I'm going to push through. We're going to get to the top of this motherfucker. And then I like totally froze up. Being way up at the top, there is a sense of actual right now fear that grips you. And I could totally see climbing to one of these high places and then getting stuck there just from fear.
Yeah, 100% saw myself being like, okay, someone has to carry me down. Nate, maybe not having a great time now. So, maybe not Nate. And the children are smaller than they are now. So,
yeah,
like, Zave could carry me down the mountain now.
He could carry you, but he's not carrying me.
No.
If I freeze up there, I'm fucked.
Oh, yeah. No, they have to call somebody for you. But I was like,
They have to call someone for you.
But at the time, even then, like, I was like, okay, if Nate's not gonna carry me down from the top, we're all going down now.
Yeah.
Let's just go back.
I'd much rather find mushrooms on the ground or like just on the internet. Just like literally anywhere on the internet.
Well, yeah, that sounds safe. But so there are highlands above where she's at on this mountain that are worse. We've heard of these highlands. They're wastelands where the warfer birds nest. It's fucking desolate. The lower mountains where she hunts for mushrooms are lush and beautiful, except for Nesting Cliff. That's where some of the other falcon bird bullshits nest. Yes. Nate did a hand motion and I said yes to it.
And it's a big ass cliff.
It is.
Well, and yeah, to clarify, because again, this might be just for me, but I did not realize that we had heard about Narif Valley before. It wasn't until Warfer Birds got mentioned and I was like, and then they talk about how it's poisonous and only one thing grows up there. And then when it was laid out in front of me, did I put all this together?
Yeah, but the poison gets filtered out
Yep.
into she mentions the river that goes down. It's a whole thing.
This was the where we start talking about things like the butterfly effect.
Yes.
Where one thing very far up in the food chain has drastic effects much later on down the butterfly wing or something like that.
Gold star, you were paying attention, Aaron. Yay!
Do I get inspiration?
Yes, you get a little inspiration star.
You get that. Yay. I was way too late.
Can I be real honest though?
Yeah.
I like it.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Feels too long for what you. That was too much.
It felt
Anyway.
just about the right amount of time.
That was about the appropriate amount of time spent on this bit.
She doesn't like it out on the edge of the cliff, though. She likes it in the deep woods, where the shrooms grow. You know?
We heard you.
So she collects the shrooms to sell at the market. This is her job, basically.
Mhm.
She's known as the mushroom lady. This money helps supplement what her family grows or raises. Like, they are mostly people of the land, but her money is necessary for her family to be comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, it's a side gig, but just because it's a side gig doesn't mean it's not absolutely important. You need multiple streams of income nowadays.
Well,
Make it happen.
It sounds like it's a smaller village where there still is as much bartering as there is paying for things.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you mushrooms if you give me this. Oh, you don't want mushrooms for that? Well, I did sell some, so I do have money. But yeah, it's very much support local from what it sounds like in this small village.
And also, she likes the way that these ones taste a little bit better. The ones that grow up here, the ones down in the valley are just not quite so nice. She knows all the good spots up here, plus she believes that the clouds touch these ones and the extra moisture in the air just does something to them that makes them special.
Yeah,
well,
I
like
mean,
mushrooms grow off of humidity, right? That's kind of one of their things.
Yeah.
I might be way out of line here, but I feel like, yeah, that makes perfect sense that they would grow in the mossy areas, but then also way up high where the clouds make everything wet,
It's
like
usually
all
cool,
the time.
damp places.
Yeah.
Dark.
And untouched for a long time.
There's a little bit of mushroom talk we get. She lists off a number of mushrooms. Oysters, they're good fried. Chanterelles, she gets regular and spicy versions, dried and fresh. She's going to sell them.
Magic, psilocybin.
Pheasant backs are good pickled.
Penis envy.
Woolly velvet is good for dye. Polypores are good to keep fires burning. And strope razors.
Portobellos are good on steak.
Okay, so I got a bone to pick with strope razors real quick. Strope is just sharpening your razor, but sharpening in a specific fashion with a leather strap. Terry Goodkind used the term strope to make it fancy. It's literally, strope was made because people said the word strap like strop. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just literally changing the language over the accent, but it makes it sound fancier.
Do it with the accent.
Strop.
Like, I'm gonna
Strop.
strop my razor. You do it better than me.
I'm gonna strop my razor.
There you
Like
go.
that?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. But
Yeah,
then it was just written down STROP.
Yeah.
Why complicate it? I'm not a super educated dude. I had to look that up because I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? But yeah, that's all it is. I know how to sharpen a knife.
Okay.
Didn't need
Yeah.
a fancy word for that.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure what it meant either. So I was glad that Nate did a little bit of research. She also mentioned the deadly Galeria, Gallerina. That's how you pronounce that word. So yeah, she had gone a bit off the trail, but she knows where she is in these woods.
Oh, she's been up here numerous occasions.
This is her shit.
Yeah, she might be off the official trail, but she's on her own trail.
Yeah, she's on her little side path. Under an oak tree, she finds spicy chanterelles, also beef vein, or small pipes, as they're called sometimes.
I like calling them beef pipes.
I just feel like Terry Goodkind was like, we're talking about mushrooms. And you know what mushrooms make me think of? Penises. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put one out there that's so obviously a penis reference that nobody can listen to this chunk of the book without going, heh. Right?
Are you telling me that you think beef vein and penis are adjacent to each other?
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct, I think.
Especially because it's beef vein or small pipes.
Oh, yeah. 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 Which, I mean, and let's be honest, we're all going for the beef vein. I don't think many of us are looking for that small pipe. We're going for the beef vein.
Yeah. But either way, it's like, eh. Eh. Okay, so she also sees a ring of spirit bells. And typically, people not fans of spirit bells because of the bitter taste. There's a woody texture, so they're not good for eating. Also, because there's like this weird folklore bullshit thing that if you step into a ring of these spirit bells, you could be bewitched.
It sounds like they grow in what we might know as fairy rings.
Yes.
Or, mushroom circles, where it's this almost weirdly perfect circle that one specific mushroom encompasses the outer ring. And yeah, it feels like you might get cursed if you step in it, because you never find perfect right angles in nature because you need precision to do that. Nature is more of a chaotic thing. Perfect circle or almost seemingly perfect circle. Clearly that's a trap.
Whoa.
That's a trap.
This is a real thing?
You've never seen like a fairy circle of mushrooms?
Yeah, fairy
no.
ring?
No.
No shit, really?
No.
They have them in Baldur's Gate, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. This is fucking wild.
That's absolutely a real life thing.
Yeah.
The curse isn't real.
No,
Is what they would have you believe.
Yeah, but people.
Some of these photos look like they were very much done on purpose. And then some of these are like, well, that looks pretty natural, but also clearly is a ring.
I know at some point.
The pictures on purpose, but they grow. It's a thing. It's a fucking thing.
At some point, I looked into it because I remember looking into it at some point. There is a scientific reason for why they grow in a circle. I do not remember off the top of my head.
It's about the spores.
Yes. Yeah.
But also the elves.
Well, yeah, the hag that plays the hag that plants them and curses the land. I mean,
naturally.
Yeah. I was speaking of the scientific, not the magical reasoning.
Yeah. Well, Roberta holds no favor with this shit, so she walks right through. But she does imagine when she goes through that she can hear the delicate chimes going off.
She did the bad thing. She did the bad thing. She pretended she heard the chimes. She pretended she heard the chimes.
What if she did?
Now, okay, because I don't remember right offhand. Did she say chimes or did she say bells?
I'm pretty sure. I will look it up real quick, but I'm almost positive she says chimes.
You don't have to look it up. I know. I
Yeah.
wrote the notes.
Yeah.
She says chimes.
Then she is fucked for sure.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify. I haven't heard the word lurk in a little while, but she said chimes and she's got no reason to know what the name of the chimes are. So then that specific word comes up with this new person and we all remember what happened to Nora. So just fucking trying to be aware.
What is interesting is that we do not hear, like we weren't in Junie's body. We were with Nora, but I don't remember her mentioning hearing the chimes. Maybe she did, but it is interesting that she says she hears them because I don't think that, maybe Nora mentioned it, but I don't think that we've heard that before, that you hear the chimes kind of
That would
before
be creepy
it happens.
as fuck.
Well, I mean, she's not
They have reasons, yeah.
She is referencing the sound. I mean, this is definitely a meta take on it that
Spirit
we know
bells,
of
yeah.
the chimes, but because chimes are just a sound thing. They're not, the word chime is not inherently magical, but we know it is in this world.
Right. But to her, she's just imagining the chimes of the little mini spirit bells she's walking through.
Yeah.
And it's like a cutesy thing to her, but
Yeah.
it's got real world implications in it. Well, I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil anything,
Well,
but
she gets her hands on
Yeah.
them beef veins, and then she goes and finds a good branch for a sit.
gotta
to
have a good
relax for
sit
moment.
after handling that beef vein.
Yeah, she has to relax.
It's
for a
amazing.
minute.
I'm just gonna call this one out right now. Early wizard prophecy. I know normally this is at the end of the episode. For sure, beef vein is the title of this episode, right?
It's gotta be.
I mean,
All right. Well, you know what? We'll think about that while we go to a little beer break and have a little relaxed time of our own, and we'll be back right after this.
Nate, what are we drinking today?
Today, we are having psychedelic cat grass. We're not quite there yet in the episode, but I assure you, my friend, it's relevant. This is one of the friskiest IPAs in the Shortsiverse. They used Mosaic, Amarillo, and Citra hops, the best ones, to triple dry hop this brew for a full-on tropical fruit flavor, touchdown, complemented by bold aromas of pineapple, mango, and grapefruit. Catgrass finishes pleasantly dry and bitter, leaving you ready for that next sip or gulp. We're not here to judge. We'll leave the judging to the cats.
We know cats are judgmental, so that tracks.
That very much so. This guy is clocking in as 7.6%, clocking in 85 IBU. Yeah.
I just think that IPAs, they give themselves a lot of fucking credit. You know what I mean? When they're writing descriptions like that, that's what I think. I think they talk it up a lot more than it deserves. Ooh, mango, pineapple, fucking no, nuh-uh. You know what this tastes like? An IPA. Yeah, that's what it is. It's an IPA. That's all. That's all you need in the description.
Do you want to just
No.
go ahead and give your rating
You can
now?
just- you can-
or
Yeah, we made it with these 3 hops. It's an IPA. That's all you need in the fucking description. That's all you fucking need.
Do you have a number in mind? Because I want to guess your number. I think I know what you're going to rate this.
Go ahead.
3 out of 10.
No, no, because listen, I'm not trying to. I will not diss IPAs just for being IPAs. For being an IPA, it's 5. It's a fucking IPA. There's literally nothing in particular about it. I've had some great IPAs from Perrin, but they're wonderful. They're fruit IPAs. When they say you get hints of rhubarb and strawberry, they fucking do. This one, you know, I get hints of hops. So there you go.
Well, Nate, I think maybe you should go next to bridge the gap between Jade's rating and my rating.
Absolutely, yeah. I recall one of the last beer breaks we did where you're like, basically mirror everything Jade said, but I'm giving it a 9. I kind of feel like something like that might be coming. I'm getting a little better with IPAs, but honestly, this one is good, but there's nothing that sticks out too much. So you gave it a 5. I'm going to go 5.
Yeah.
I want to give it a 6, but honestly, it's not that.
What did it do to deserve a 6? Fucking nothing.
But maybe that's what somebody wants in this beer. It's not what I'm looking for. but that's why somebody that we know and whose opinion we respect may have a different.
What?
I'm actually trying to point at you in this case, Aaron. Might have a different idea of what to say about this.
So I agree with everything that's been said for the most part. It's hoppy. I taste almost nothing but hops. For that reason, it is claiming there should be more. I am going to put it one step below my power bottom cutoff of an 8. I think this is a 7. It is an IPA. I think it does exactly what it's trying to do quite well for an IPA. And I would drink this all day. There is better IPAs out there.
For instance, an IPA that's literally named All Day IPA.
Yeah, I would take a very, I think, founder's standard of the all day IPA.
In that way, I'm not saying it's the best. I'm saying that's pretty well nowadays the standard of what you're looking for.
Yeah. I think that's
fine.
That all day IPA is like the 7.5. It's the gatekeeper into the power bottom category.
Right.
And this is coming in just under that. This is a good 7. I could drink this all day. I will gladly drink however many of these are remaining in the fridge so you guys don't have to.
You know, I like our 3-headed dog here. It's good. And I also just feel like that gave me an A+ on my quiz. I'm right. And you know what? We're going to see you in just a second. We'll be right back.
Also, I call lefty. I want to be lefty. If we're a 3-headed dog, lefty.
You can be lefty. That's fine.
Thank you.
Anyway, you guys want to get back into the chapter?
Hi.
Hello.
Daydreaming, Roberta heard a whisper. And you know what that whisper sounded like?
No, I have no idea.
Her name.
Oh.
Roberta.
I am not happy.
It wasn't that.
I am not happy if that's what the whispering sounds like.
I'm not inquisitive at all. I'm
Wait.
getting the fuck out of here.
Can I tell you guys
Nay.
Yeah. You want to hear a story? You want to hear a story?
Yes.
Nate,
More
you were-
than anything else in the world.
You were here for this story, but you weren't here for this story, kind of. We went camping. You were in the camper, right? I'm sitting out there having smoking time. So I would sit out there. I was by myself in the dark. And all of a sudden, I start hearing this really creepy whisper. And I lost my shit. I ended up going into the camper and not coming back out for the rest of the night. Next day, we find out that the neighbor camper has a lady with a stoma who has a granddaughter named Jade.
That's a hell of a thing to find out the next morning.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh, good. So not demons then.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
It's fun that you don't remember this because I
do.
have
After
a
you
visceral
mentioned
memory.
the stoma, I do remember that because I remember thinking I don't believe in ghosts and ghost stories, right? So there has to be a logical explanation to somebody saying Jade in that manner in the middle of the night. Turns out the neighbor people had a granddaughter with the same name. Grandma's got a stoma.
Terrifying.
Problem
though.
solved.
Yeah, problem solved. Next day.
That's the most
that's the most
Scooby-Doo moment ever.
Oh,
Just a dude in a mask, guys.
like no shame towards stoma people, but let me tell you, do not hang out in the dark if you have one in a public place without announcing yourself. I feel like it's just common courtesy. If you're going to be saying things in the dark, you should be like, hey, I have a stoma and I'm not a creepy person. I promise. And maybe that's judgmental, but I promise you that I was terrified. I was absolutely fucking terrified because she said my name. and I had no reason to know that she was an innocent person. She was an innocent grandma, and that's not my fault. Right? I had to feel like a bad person for being scared of her. It's not my fucking fault.
It's not your fault, but it's a little judgmental that you think that people with stomas need to declare themselves.
I know. Logically, that's not the answer.
I know.
Okay.
You're a good person. Your intent is good.
I just feel like there should have been some way to prevent my terror. That's all. Because she doesn't deserve to be scared, to have people be scared of her either, right? This is good for both of us.
That's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. At no point did you say anything wrong.
You know, she's not a bad person. She wasn't trying to kill me. I know this now.
Hey, can I admit something though? So glad you told that story. I was being a little bit like, yeah, sure, tell the story, and I was really leaning into
where
it.
this is going.
I'm so happy you told that story.
I'm just saying, whispers from the dark, terrifying. This is not dark; it's daytime. She also hears it 2 more times. Okay, and then she sits up.
Oh, well, it should have been funny. Comedy is rule of threes. So,
Right.
yeah.
And she does, it doesn't, the book makes it explicitly clear that it makes her feel warm and fuzzy inside when she hears the voice. So it's not terror that she's feeling. It's like, ooh, sexy time, niceness, ooh, comfort,
You feel
ooh,
cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't being judgmental, but you are kink shaming Roberta a little bit. She's into the rough stuff, okay? And don't judge her for that.
No. Well, I'm guessing it wasn't Roberta. It was more like Roberta. Something like that.
We'll never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I also gotta say, never thought about it, but Roberta's kind of a hard to say sexy, I guess. I've never thought about that before either. That's not the sexiest name in the world.
Roll the R.
I don't think I could do that.
Fucking nailed it.
I figured out what the rest of this episode is going to be.
Roberta.
No. This is doing it.
I'm a white girl from Michigan. I don't think I can do that.
Roberta.
Roberta.
You know what? I like your version better. I do.
Was a neighbor trying to start a car?
I told you. That's what I'm saying. It's just not I'm just not good at it.
Nate, I think we got some weird sound things going on outside the house.
Roberta. Anyways, not far away. She actually sees him. It's someone she's always known since she was young. She's always daydreamed of this motherfucker, but now she knows that he's real. She's imagined making out with him all the time in her secret little moments, but he's here now. And his face is glorious, but she can't really see or say what it looks like. So they knew each other. Thoughts, longings, all the shit. This is their soul's true mate. She doesn't need to know his name. She knows everything else. It's fine. They're good.
This is her dream man.
Right.
Literally.
Right. He held his hand out to her. He's calling her with his need. Roberta reaches back. It's a whole fucking thing. They're having a soul high five through the air right now.
Like I know about being on mushrooms, you are having a super emotional thing happen. This is meaningful, regardless to what it is.
Yeah, did we miss the line that said she ate some of the mushrooms she's picked? Did I miss a line?
Nope, she just sat down and relaxed.
Okay.
So the way I figure this, at best, is narrator just forgot to mention that we are having a full-on Tenacious D moment where she just takes a rest in the woods. She's like, oh man, good thing I picked all these mushrooms. Well, in the description, one of them had the little red stripe on the side. And we, in fact, instead of being penis envy, and ended up being psychedelic cat grass, penis envy being a type of psychedelic mushroom. But it ended up being this, and she unknowingly ate a whole fucking bunch of them, and that kicked it off. Or she got bit by a snake vine, which canonically, canonically, due to the podcast, will make you trip balls.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's clear to us as readers, right? She was in the woods, deep in the woods where she likes to be in deep. You know what I mean?
Deep in those woods.
Deep in those woods, in the dark,
Right, yes.
where the mushrooms like to live.
Yes.
As she starts reaching out to this guy, She almost seems to float over the ground. She's getting warmer as she's getting closer. Now, she does mention that it's not like the sun on her face, but more like a lover's kiss. But as we continue to go through here, it's pretty clear that she's moving out of where she was. She was in the dark and she's going towards the light.
She was in the area that she's comfortable being in, and now she is moving
away
somewhere else.
Yes.
Physically, this is not like she's metaphorically moving. She is physically moving through a space.
Right.
Daydreaming, but physically.
Yes. Like sleepwalking.
Sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
She needs nothing in life like she needs to be in this motherfucker's arms. She no longer feels old or weary. She feels light and airy and youthful. The more she stretches, though, the farther he seems. So she has to keep going towards him. So she moves far in this space of time. It doesn't seem like it, but she fucking is moving.
Well, and like I've had this dream where you go to try to move fast and then you move like you're in molasses. Yeah. I've had this dream. I believe that is a form of sleep paralysis.
Could be.
Or a symptom of sleep paralysis.
Had that dream where I try punching someone in the face and I can't do it. Yeah, where my arm is just like, no.
Because you're sleeping and you actually can't move your body.
And
your brain's
is my
trying
arm
to-
like actually
your
trying
brain's-
to swing
Yeah,
when that
your
happens?
brain's
Yes.
trying to move. Yeah.
Oh man, guess
That's-
I've always been upset by that, but I'm glad I can't actually follow through with those punches.
That is sleep paralysis is when you breach into consciousness from your subconscious sleep and your body is trying to actually signal to move, but your subconscious is like, fucking knock it off, dude. We are sleeping. You
Make this
can't.
motherfucker lay down.
Well, think
What
of
are
like
you doing?
Bed.
think of the I'm sure cats have done it too or other animals, but the
Shut
dog
it
videos
off.
where a dog will be like laying on its side and it'll start running and then it gets up, runs and hits a wall because it is sleeping, but it breached into consciousness while it was sleeping. There is a function to sleep paralysis. Unfortunately, a really shitty side effect is also sometimes you see a faceless man when you have sleep paralysis.
Terrifying.
Which
Could
doesn't
you-
sound like this. This sounds quite nice.
No, but could you imagine still being spry enough that within a split second, if you weren't paralyzed in sleep, you'd be able to get out of bed? You mean just in general?
Yeah, I'm still pretty wildly athletic. I can do that.
Wow. Well,
For sure.
you're better than me, buddy. It
Yeah.
would take me a few minutes at best.
I don't need 10 minutes of stretching every morning.
I'm gonna, yeah. Okay. So panic grips Roberta, though, at this point, because she can't reach him no matter how hard she tries. So she does like leap through the sunshine, as we were just saying, to his arm, but he's still farther out. So I just wanted to point out at this point, she is back into the sunshine out of the woods where she's comfortable.
Mhm.
And we know that she was close to nesting Cliff, which is
Right, when she started. But now
Mhm.
she's nowhere near the cliff. She's just in that not warm warmth
well,
after jumping
Well, no, she's daydreaming. She is clearly sitting next to a tree.
on a tree and not leaping into the safety of catching arms.
She's daydreaming that she's doing those things.
so his arms lift to her. She can feel that his knee
There you go. There he is. See, we're good.
reaching out to her, and she aches to soothe all his, like, because he just really needs her. So she wants to help him. He cries her name out, and at this point, she is weeping to know his. She does want to know his. Her. It's interesting how fast that switched. Earlier, she didn't need to. Now she does. So with all her strength, she reaches out to him. She puts all her being into a reckless lunge towards his fucking arms. And she cries out. She spreads her arms.
Spreads her arms.
Now, the reckless lunge, that will give opponents advantage on their attacks next turn. That's what the reckless lunge. She gets to roll with advantage, but then they get advantage on her as well. That's reckless lunge.
Yeah,
Only if she forgets to spread her arms.
if there is a next turn, yes. The sun sparkles all around her. The wind lifts her hair. She feels like she's floating endlessly through the air to him, but it's all right.
Interesting
Everything's
choice of
all
words.
right, my guys, because nothing's more perfect than this moment right here.
Sure.
I believe that everything feels fine.
Endlessly, what was it? Endlessly floating?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people call it that. Some people call it falling with style.
Yeah, whatever, man. She hears the chimes of those feelings ring out. Her heart
Said the word again.
Yeah. Her heart nearly burst as she plunged into his embrace. She saw through him. The valley floor is flying up towards her, and she finally knows his name.
Sorry. Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I will
That's
give
it. Nate got it.
earlier in this very chapter, I talk about how I did not recognize something until it was laid out step by step in front of me, being the valley that we're in with the warfer birds and all this stuff. Yet I found myself feeling insulted that Terry felt the need to explicitly say this was death. I kind of feel like this would have been so much better if he would have said that.
If you left it off.
Yeah. Just end it without saying that this is death. Just she knew at last his name. End of the fucking chapter.
Or if instead of death, he would have wrote Vasi, because there's three of them. Centrosi,
Right.
Vasi,
Vasi.
and
Fear.
Rachani.
Rachani.
And I don't remember which is which. So it would have been even more helpful for me as a person who is doing this podcast to remember which one is the air one if she would have been like, his name is the air one.
Not super easy to find in the wiki for some reason.
I feel like Centrosi is the fire one, though, because he says that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Rachani.
Yeah, that one's the water one, I think. So Vasi.
Rachani is water. Centrosi is fire. Vasi is air.
Nailed it!
Fucking
There it is.
Yeah!
First
Bam.
try.
That's fine.
I mean,
this podcast.
I to be honest, I kind of would have liked that better. Like, I do like when authors give me the opportunity to get there on my own.
Yeah.
And then maybe like in a chapter or two confirm my suspicions. Because it makes me feel smart. This one, not so, like, it was like, come on, I knew what it was. Again, I didn't recognize the valley as where the warfer birds
I would have
were.
liked
So
him to just say Vasi.
Yeah.
I liked that he brought that part back.
Mhm.
That this is the Narif Valley. We learned about this whole area. And oh, by the way, there's also people living here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they've got their own shit going on. And they rely on this too. But then, like, what about the trip from the beginning of the chapter to, because Nora was a fucking nightmare fuel thing the whole way through. This was pleasant. And as an enjoyer of mushrooms and the emotions you feel after you take mushrooms, I was like,
to eat them.
99% of this is wonderful. But then, you know, the last bit where you fall off the cliff, that's the importance of setting and having safety
So my very
in place.
obvious wizard prophecy is that there's going to be one more of these random people chapters because we haven't seen Rachini yet. We've seen Centrosi. We've seen Vasi.
Fire, air.
There's got to be
saw-
at least one more where we deal with
No,
water
we saw
problems.
water. We saw water first.
What? When?
Judy.
Plus, we also
sure.
we also know that people in the village
Mhm.
have been drowning in the fountain.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I was thinking that it would be because that was not a random. Junie was with Richard and Kaylin. These people are completely disjointed. I'm still making the prophecy that there will be one more chapter of a random person like Nora and like, geez, how the fuck did I already forget her name? I was going to say Rachel. It's not Rachel.
It's Roberta. Roberta.
Yeah. You got to really lean into the.
I was just about to say that's like the worst way you can say that name. And then you
Unless-
fire that one off.
Unless you're into that kind of thing.
Unless you're into that kind of thing.
Puck didn't like it either.
No, he's outie.
But yeah, I think we got Nora, we got Roberta, and I think we're going to get someone else for the Rachani. Even though I now know that Junie was a very clear example of water, I stand by what I said, and now I digress.
Good. That's our truth. And we would love to hear yours. Write to us in your journey books. Yeah.
It's bad. Fail. My bad.
To
My bad.
podcastatt@gmail.com or find us on any of our social media.
Drink. Off again.
If you would like to support this podcast and hear more of all of our awesome voices, you should find us over on patreon.com/podcast
HTTPSS. Oh.
He's out of practice. He hasn't been here for 2 episodes.
Yeah, fucked it all up, bud.
You know what? I say we kick him off the podcast.
Whoa, hey.
You're in timeout.
Hey now.
All right, guys, that's all for us, friends.
Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.
Ta-ra! I do believe I learned in school at some point or another that like mushrooms and humidity or moisture is very much go hand in hand together.
I don't know that it's so much of humidity as moisture because
Damp, shaded environments.
Okay.
Which could be perfectly described on the side of a mountain
Yes.
that is on the opposite
Yeah.
side of the sun 90% of the day.
And-
So yeah, 100%.
To your point, shaded kind of takes away the humid part. So, yeah, boy, was wrong. Cut that. Can you cut where I...
can't edit audio. Anyways,